I want to have a real conversation today, not just about politics, but about what it actually means to when democracy is on the line. And I know people say that a lot. It's easy to dismiss as alarmism or just more noise in a already chaotic world. But this is different, and it's worth paying attention to. We need to talk about the people surrounding Donald Trump, not just Trump himself, but the folks lining up to work with him. People whose names you might not know off the top of your head, but who could play an outsized role in shaping what this country looks like. Not just supporters of Trump, but those who are actually working on plans to help tear down the systems meant to hold leaders accountable. Take Kash Patel, for example. He started as a mid level congressional staffer, and under Trump, he skyrocketed through national security roles at the White House, the Pentagon, and even served briefly as acting chief of staff of the Department of Defense. It wasn't because of his qualifications, it was because of his loyalty. Loyalty, in this case, meaning a willingness to push Trump's agenda, even when it clashed with laws, norms, or basic democratic principles. Now, why does this matter? Because Patel is being positioned as a key figure in his second administration. And what that means, plain and simple, is control. Control over law enforcement, control over the Justice Department, control over the mechanisms that are supposed to remain independent from the president. And he is not alone. Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General of Florida, is another name you should know. She defended Trump during his first impeachment trial and has stayed deeply involved in Trump's inner circle ever since. Again, this isn't about someone supporting a politician because of policy alignment. This is about blind loyalty, about people willing to dismantle systems designed to protect the public, all to serve one man's personal interests. We've already seen where this can go. Remember when Trump pressured the Justice Department to investigate his political rivals? When he spread baseless claims about election fraud? When he tried to overturn legitimate results in multiple states? None of that was just a fluke, and none of it was a solo act. He had help, and those people are getting ready to do it all over again, this time with even fewer constraints. What's alarming is how openly this is being discussed now. There are open conversations about expanding presidential powers, cutting civil service protections, and installing loyalists in positions that should be nonpartisan. We're talking about purging career officials, people with expertise, people who served both Republican and Democratic presidents, just because they won't pledge personal allegiance to Trump. This is dangerous because it breaks one of the most basic principles of democracy, that leaders are supposed to serve the country, not themselves. The Justice Department isn't supposed to be a personal attack squad for any president. Law enforcement isn't supposed to be used to silence critics or intimidate political opponents. These systems exist to make sure that no one, not even the president, is above the law. But here's the thing. It doesn't take a full-on dictatorship for this kind of thing to happen. It happens slowly, incrementally. When people stop paying attention, when cynicism creeps in, when we start believing that nothing matters anymore, that all politicians are the same, or that the system is already too broken to fix. That's when this kind of authoritarianism sneaks in the back door. And listen, I get it, it's exhausting. It's tempting to check out, to disengage, to scroll past headlines and tune out the noise. But this isn't just noise. It's about the future of the country, and the people making these plans aren't slowing down just because we're tired. We're at a point where we have to be crystal clear about what's happening. This isn't a normal political rivalry. This isn't just one party trying to outmaneuver the other. This is about whether the rules still apply to those in power, whether we still have institutions that can push back when a leader crosses the line, or whether we let those institutions get hollowed out and replaced with yes men and loyalists who do whatever they're told. It's personal too, because at the end of the day, this affects real people. It affects who gets investigated, who gets prosecuted, who's protected, whose voices get heard, and whose get silenced. It affects whether the law is a shield for everyone or just a weapon for the powerful. And while this is all grim, here's the good news. None of this is inevitable. Authoritarian power grabs don't succeed because one person is all powerful. They succeed when enough people stop caring, when enough people decide it's not their problem, but it is our problem. It's on all of us to pay attention, to speak out, to vote, to organize, to demand accountability. We've been through some dark times before, and every time it's taken ordinary people refusing to let it slide, refusing to be intimidated or discouraged. That's what makes the difference. So it's okay to feel worried. It's okay to be angry. It means you care. What matters is what we do with that, whether we turn it into action or let it harden into hopelessness. I hope we choose action. I hope we choose action. I hope we choose to stay loud, stay engaged, and refuse to let our democracy be hollowed out by a handful of loyalists serving one man's ego. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you seeing this stuff where you live? Do you feel like there's enough people around you who are aware of what's happening? Also, please like, subscribe, and always remember, progress isn't radical.